Good evening. I'm Leland Vittert. It's nice to have you with us tonight. Quite literally, here we go again. Another classified document scandal, this time with a different president. Sure, there are differences, but tonight the irony is pretty rich. Today we learned of another set of classified documents in President Biden's garage from his time as vice president. Much like the ones at Mar-a-Lago, they weren't supposed to be there. Much like the ones at Mar-a-Lago, Mr. Trump was less than candid about it. Mr. Biden has been less than candid about his document situation. Much like the ones at Mar-a-Lago, the story keeps getting worse for the respective president. Mr. Biden's house on the left, Mar-a-Lago on the right. And now we have dueling special counsels, one to investigate President Trump's handling of classified documents, one to investigate President Biden's handling of classified documents. The irony here is hard to believe. It would be unbelievable if it wasn't in Washington. It's almost like, I don't know, there is a lot of classified stuff, and it's not all nuclear codes, but scoring political points off of it is very easy. But just for a second, if Democrats hadn't tried to turn the Mar-a-Lago raid into treason, would anybody really care about what's in Joe Biden's garage? We're pretty certain it is not the nuclear codes. Seriously, just think about Joe Biden's response to Scott Pelley on 60 Minutes back in September about the Trump documents.
And you saw the photograph of the top secret documents laid out on the floor at Mar-a-Lago. What did you think to yourself, looking at that image?
How that could possibly happen, how anyone could be that irresponsible.
Yeah. Today, President Biden tried to make light of his own classified document scandal. The irony, right? But nobody asked him if he regretted being so judgmental of his predecessor. He has to be right? We know Mr. Biden had classified documents in his garage. He might regret it just a little bit. You can see his Corvette there, of having the nation's secret next to his prized sports car.
I'm going to get a chance to speak on all this, God willing, soon. But as I said earlier this week, people, and by the way, my Corvette's in a locked garage, okay? So it's not like you're sitting out in the street.
Locked garage, nothing to see here. No, not exactly. They weren't. You remember the picture plastered to your TV screen for most of August and September, all the classified document folders from Mar-a-Lago? That's the picture Scott Pelley was referring to. At the time, Republicans argued that Trump could declassify any documents, but they also made the point that many of them should not be classified in the first place. It's a common argument, the over-classification of things. Every intelligence agency in America loves to have the top secret, so everything becomes top secret. Every agency wants to be the most important. So let's turn this around for a second. If there wasn't political points to be scored by both sides, if this really was about national security, would either of these be true scandals? Or is it really that easy to walk out with our national secrets and keep them in your garage or your closet? Ambassador John Bolton dealt with America's secrets for decades, served as Assistant Attorney General, Ambassador to the United Nations, and National Security Advisor, is with us here. All right, the irony is delicious no matter which side of the political spectrum you are on here. But did either of these cases truly compromise national security?
Well, we don't know in the case of Trump or the case of Biden at this point what the contents of the documents that are marked as classified really turned out to be. And until you know that, you can't answer that question, part one. Part two, we don't know that any unauthorized source saw any of these documents. And there's a kind of no harm, no foul principle involved here. But what we do know in both cases, and by the way, from what we can tell, it looks like Trump had about 20 or 25 more times more documents than Biden had, a substantially greater number. There is a breakdown in the control process in both cases. These documents never should have been commingled with unclassified documents. Again, we don't know exactly what the unclassified documents were, but this is mishandling, and quite apart from everything else, how they responded when the problem was brought to their attention. The mishandling is bad for a president and a vice president to do in and of itself, and it sets a bad example for the thousands of other people in the federal bureaucracy who have security clearances, because if the people at the top can be casual about it and then get away with it, that is not a good lesson to teach.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.